Sounds kind of like you're able to, basically write business logic for the back end and send it to the back end and have it run without having to redeploy anything. It just, you can send it back there and have it basically be computing and crunching numbers real time. Like almost, it looks like
Yeah,
right away with the MyCool score comp.
yeah, yeah. And so that's I think part of the motivation for us in um, building the social sense maker and having replang is that dynamic ability where you could change your feed ordering, and you don't have to redeploy the whole network, which is kind of a heavyweight uh, like requirement for just a small change that's relatively localized. So I think we see this as an important that you can, or an important dynamic component of a system that deals with reputation data or social data, that you can on the fly change how you respond to that. And yeah, instead of having a more like monolith or more like uh, everything packaged into one app and you have to redeploy that whole thing.
And I'm wondering, is the MyCool score comp, so one user did that, and I imagine that's stored on the holochain DHT. So is that available to other users on the network?
Yeah, so
Oh, look at that. Cool.
it shows up here. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so that's just another value. Basically, um, let's say, so these are stored as so-called SenseMaker entries, like short for social sense maker, which is our point of integration between Replang and Holochain. And so there is an entry type which is called SenseMaker entry, and it basically stores Replang program expressions. And so that entry type, SenseMaker entry, is used to store both the reactions and the score computations. And this may sound a little weird because we're used to thinking of like maybe thinking of holochain entries as of a single type. In this case, we're kind of like able, because of having an interpreter and a language, we're able to store disparately typed things as program text, basically, inside of a single SenseMaker entry. And so the SenseMaker entry benefits from all the standard holochain goodies of like it gets validated, so we can check that the computation results are evaluated correctly, and things are shared around the DHT as you'd expect. Yeah, so I guess I showed. Oh, and another thing to point out is that these two conductors, or these two web UIs connected to conductors, can have different score computations. Right side really values the mind blowns, and the left side values the lulls. Oh, it turns out that gives you the same results up top. Okay, I have to click more things. Okay, so we're seeing a different sort ordering on the left versus the right. And while this is like a somewhat simplistic example, it showcases that basically it showcases that the user, the agent, can have their own view on a set of shared data. And this is like kind of in line with Holochain's agent-centric ethos. You can choose how your feed looks. Maybe the neighborhood as a whole would pick out some of these score computations as recommended. It could even, like going to a meta layer, it could actually have a feed of them and people could react to them and sort the score computations themselves. And then you could choose one of those and view your feed that way. But this basically opens us up to more, it gives the agent more power and gives them the ability to choose how they see their social reality instead of having it being imposed on them, which is the case in most platforms. You don't really have a choice.